I wanted to come here and see if I could build something. Probably pretty naive, not knowing, the lay of the land, and there was almost no philanthropy at the Med Center at that time. The attitude among most philanthropists in Arkansas was that the state pays your way. We don't need to give you money, but the fact was that we probably got 15% of our income from the state, and we had to generate income from patient care. So when I came, then I tried to get in touch with people, develop relationships with people that had interest in eye care, eye surgery, making Arkansas better for patients with eye care, who needed eye care. I put Dr. Morris Henry on my board. He was a prominent ophthalmologist in Northwest Arkansas. He was in the legislature. He was a senator from Fayetteville. We talked, and I didn't know whether or not he was going to support us, but it so happened that he had done this. We learned this later. He had done cataract surgery on Mrs. Bernice Jones. The surgery was successful, and so he asked Mrs. Jones if she would be willing to sit down and talk with the chairman of the ophthalmology department down at Little Rock. So she said, yeah, we'll set up an appointment, but I can only give him 15 minutes. Her husband had serious illness, was in the hospital, and so she spent all day long with him. When we got there, we met with Dr. Henry, and we had lunch with him before we went out to see Mrs. Jones, which is going to be at 12 o'clock. And we had a nice conversation, and I said, Dr. Henry said, I have two proposals, two case statements, two proposals. So they're the same, except the amount of money we're asking for is different. And I said, this one is for $250,000, and this one's for $1 million. Well, that was pretty much unheard of at that time, about going after that kind of money with a donor, particularly at the university. We got to finish the presentation, and she said, what do you want? I said, well, Mrs. Jones, we'd like to have $1 million. I handed her the proposal. She didn't flinch. She said, well, I got to get back to the hospital. And said, you can walk me out to my car, and I did. And on the way out the car, she grabbed my hand. She said, I'm thinking. 1 week later, her accountant showed up at our door, right? Not in this building, but over in the Shore building, with a check for $1 million. I could tell that when I was showing her what a cataract was, what a retinal detachment was, what macular degeneration was like, how it would take your vision over time, we need to do research on all these things. I think she was listening. She was absorbing it. She was a pretty healthy lady, and she really didn't have anything of any serious consequence except eye issues. So she was pretty much into wanting to do something with the eyes. I mean, those are all the kinds of things that you think can go on, but the bottom line is that by the time we walked out, in 15, 20, 30 minutes, we had already convinced her that this is what we wanted her to do, and she was convinced that this is what she wanted to do. Philanthropy is all relationships. A lot of people don't understand that. They think you got to pick out somebody who's got money and get an appointment with them, go ahead and ask them for whatever it is they want. That's not really the way it works. Nevertheless, you realize, and I learned this from other people who were really good at raising money, that the better the relationship you have with a person, the more opportunity you have to ask them for gifts. The other principle is that you need to build a trust relationship with the person. If they have a sense that they can trust you in doing with their money what you say you want to do, then that really helps.